Here's what we're going to do. We are only able to take a yes or no vote on the recommendations that you should have already received from the three committees as it relates to our recommendations. We can't change anything. We're simply going to if you have one up or down vote. I think that at this point we will have and Mr. Zeno, would you take it from here so that we can begin with the reread the consolidated recommendations compiled from the previous meeting, and then we will simply vote yes or no.
Folks, I think that for those of you who were at our last meeting, you heard the reports given by the various subcommittees, and in addition to that, my understanding is that staff has posted the subcommittee reports to the LDC website, plus they have also consolidated the recommendations from the various subcommittees into one document. Our ask here today is simply to vote yes or no on sending those recommendations as they were submitted by the subcommittees to the county executive. And are there any questions about that before I call for a motion? Then, hearing none, a motion to send the recommendations from the three subcommittees to the county executive is open for someone to make.
So moved. So moved, Jeff Chandler.
Jeff Chandler moved. Is there a second?
Second, Johnny Osborne.
Second, Torres.
Second by. Okay, we've had a motion by Jeff Chandler, second by Johnny Osborne. Let's do a roll call vote since this is a conference call, and I'll just go right down the line. And if staff will record this, I'd appreciate it. Montina Anderson?
Yes.
Pat Britton?
Yes.
Jeff Chandler?
Yes.
Mike Errico?
No.
Anita Gonzalez, I think, is not on the line. Oh, Anita,
yes,
you're there. Oh, okay.
Yes.
My mistake. Senator Muse?
Yes, that's fine.
Johnny Osborne?
Yes.
Minerva Riddick?
Yes.
Zeno St. Cyr, yes. Javier Torres?
Yes.
Veronica Turner?
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama, who's not on, and Delegate Walker, also absent. I think, who just joined? Did someone just join the call?
Yes.
I think that is a majority of folks who are voting yes. So with that, the recommendations from the LDC will be moved on to the county executive. I'm looking at the agenda, and I see that there is an opportunity for the public at this time to make comments if there are any. Are there any members of the public who are on the call who would wish to make any comments? Hearing none.
Miss Young, who's here from the public as a citizen, but I don't have any comments.
All right, thank you. Are there any other comments, discussion items from the LDC members?
I just have a question. This is Montina on this second page. Let me see the second. I just want to. So we have 50% education, which we agreed on. Then 50%, 35%, 30%, 35%.
What's your question?
I guess, am I going crazy? It has to be 50%. So shouldn't these numbers be
That's
reflective
100% of the 50%.
It's 100% of the 50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
I see how
The remains. We know that 50% of the funds the county council has designated for education projects. The remaining 50%, the recommendation is to split that into that 30, and 35.
Mm-hmm.
Or 35, and 30, whatever
right.
is there.
Okay. And we did it, so I just wanted to be clear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Zena, Mike, Eric, I do have one statement I do want to make.
Yes, Mike,
and that the items that you all just voted for and adopted actually are in conflict with your overall premise of not substituting LDC money for things that are funded normally by the county. So I think it's kind of an interesting vote that was taken. And unfortunately, I couldn't be at the last meeting due to bronchitis, but there are items on this recommendation list that the county would normally fund in the course of business, and we're recommending LDC money for them now. So I just wanted to get that on the record and say it's unfortunate that we couldn't have had more discussion on it.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
And Mike, to that point, I just want to be specific, if we could. You're talking about the infrastructure repairs.
Yes. Yeah.
And is there anything?
Those in particular.
Those in particular.
Yeah.
Because I see it's one-time funding, and that was something that we had discussed before as well. Okay.
Well, even that one-time funding is available in the county budget. The county's responsibility to fund it, in particular under the Oxon Hill Volunteer for what they're looking for. And then, also this kind of been being unfortunately in a vacuum, and I unfortunately couldn't be at the last meeting, but the amount of money that's on the table right now for improvements to the fire emergency rescue response for Marine, based on significant county dollars that are getting ready to be invested, the $75,000 probably is actually going to be, unfortunately, wasted if it gets approved.
Then I would say, and thanks, Mike. We appreciate those comments and insights. I think that we hope to establish a continuing dialogue with the county exec's office. We're hoping that this will not be just a one-time recommendation to the county executive, but that indeed there will be some back and forth discussion. So if in fact we're able to establish that dialogue, then there'll be more opportunities going forward for this back and forth and more negotiations and perhaps more revisions and recommendations that we can discuss with the county exec's office and also with the county council as well as this FY18 budget gets developed. So,
just as you know, to everyone, I know in the beginning we all had issue and concern with supplanting versus supplementing. And so, to your point, I guess that conversation will continue until we're all clear as to what the budget inherently covers and what we should be looking at to supplement in other ways. Correct?
Right. I think that
Because I think the clarification piece, and to be honest with me, it has to be enhanced. That I did know should have been covered by, our tax dollars, if you will. But some of these other points that are mentioned here, I don't know if I'm quite aware of everything that, just to be clear that when I'm making a recommendation that I know I'm supplementing and not supplanting, because that's not what, I was, appointed to do in the best interest of the people that I'm representing in my neighborhood and, Prince George's County. So, this area.
And thanks, Montine. I think it's also important to point out that and please, you guys correct me if I'm wrong here, but at least my understanding is that even with some of these recommendations, except for perhaps that portion of the funds that are designated by the county council for education, any other grants from the LDC funds will still need to have an application presented to us for review for the use of those funds. And if so, if that is correct, I don't see this as a rubber stamp per se, but if that is correct, then the LDC will still have an opportunity to review these applications in concert with the appropriate folks from the county and make a determination at that time on whether the grant should be given or not.
Okay. Well, I think you're right, Zena. There's no way to even award a grant without having at least someone fill out a grant application. So you will get those details again to review. So.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've explained. Let me ask this: we've explained the vote. We've explained the vote. I think if there's there cannot be any new business. So anything else relevant to the vote itself? Okay, it looks like we've done that. I appreciate again being able to interrupt everyone's day for that. We've done this according to the standards outlined to us. And so thank you all very, very much, and I look forward to our next meeting.
When's our next meeting? When's the next meeting?
Do we have a date for the next meeting? I'm not sure.
Is it the third?
It's always the third. It's always the third Wednesday.
Or Wednesday.
Get of February.
It's always the third. It's the third Wednesday of the
18th
month.
No. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's January.
Chairman Muse. Excuse me.
Yes.
The 15th.
Yes.
This is Sharice.
Yes, Sharice.
We needed to have for the record the resident that made the comment about
The planning.
participating on the call earlier.
Okay.
I need their name for the record. Okay. Hello. Before we close.
Can you give your name again, please? You mentioned, you announced yourself.
Nicole, Nicole. Commission, and that's COMMISSIONG.
Thank you very much. And our next LDC meeting is Wednesday, February the 15th at the Southern Technology Center.
Okay.
At 6:30.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharice.
And
do I need a motion?
Mr. Chair, there's no other that we adjourn, and this is Zeno St. Cyr II.